Everybody, welcome to GeekStorm. I'm Sean Hilton. This is my good friend Michael Harrison, and today we're going to talk to you about some geek stuff. Well, first off, there's lots of television, lots of movies, but honestly, who cares about that kind of stuff? Everybody else is already covering it. So let's get into what really, really matters. Mike, what'd you have for lunch?
Wendy's.
Well, man, that redheaded orphan, she knows how to make
I had a baked potato and a chili.
square burgers because they don't cut the corners.
I only ever eat chili when I go there with my dad for lunch. He eats chili, so I get chili also. Otherwise, gotcha. I would probably never eat chili at Wendy's.
Some leftover type stuff in there?
Who knows what's in that thing? I mean, I'm sure it's delicious, so don't spit in it next time, Wendy. But yeah, it's
I've seen a couple of reports where it is leftovers, but who knows for sure.
Could be.
It's hard to say. So, Pedro Pascal ruling the world right now in the world of geekdom.
Yes, in the same way that Tom Hanks
Pedro Pascal's got a new show coming out.
Wait. In the same way that Tom Hanks has dominated every single living person that's worth making a movie about, he's going to be that guy. Okay? So, your Sullys, your Captains, I'm the Captain Now, your all the real life people. Tom Hanks, Pedro Pascal, escorting a magical child. That's that's his thing. Everything. That's what he's going to do from now on. So, any movie or book like that, Pedro Pascal is automatically penciled in for the.
So who got in Marvel?
What do you mean? For him?
Yeah, who's the magical child that he would? Is he like the friend to the new Hulk that he kind of helps the Hulk?
I don't know.
I
mean, honestly, I think he's a good actor, but I don't know. Just because you're a good actor doesn't mean you're a fit for a certain type of role. I don't know what he would do, and if it would be a throwaway role even.
So supposedly the actor who's been portraying Bruce Banner / the Hulk for the last several movies has come out and said he's done.
Really?
He said according to reports out there, She-Hulk was him passing the baton.
Huh.
They mentioned that he had a kid in it, so he's like, yep, somebody else can do this now. I don't want to do it. We'll see because money talks, and out of all those actors, I don't know.
People still really want to see a World War Hulk. I mean, they want to see that transition.
Really
yeah. Maybe that would be a way for him to go away, but...
So much money.
She-Hulk, okay, you could say She-Hulk was a passing of the baton, but it certainly wasn't like a swan song for him. He didn't have any great, awesome...
If anything, when they send him off into space, you see that scene where she calls him and goes, yeah, I'm in space.
Yeah.
That just whets your appetite that much more to say, oh, well, what's he up to now?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen that. We'll see.
Okay. I know you like to talk about this. Let's get into it. This coming Sunday is the Oscars.
It is the Oscars.
Who do you got on your short list of stuff?
I just looked at a ballot today, and I went and picked the 5 major categories, but I haven't got into the others. I started to watch a documentary this morning that was recommended as the probable winner.
Oh, I love documentaries.
And it was not good. I got 40 minutes into it, and that was enough for me.
What was the documentary?
This one was called something like All the Pain and Beauty or something like that, and it is about the Sackler brothers who are Purdue Pharma that did the OxyContin and all that, and the Michael Keaton show that was on Hulu. It's a documentary about that.
Okay.
And so it's interesting, but it's super self-serving about the documentarian themselves. It is the first 40 minutes was all about that person, sprinkled in with a little bit of pharma stuff here and there, but it was all about her personal life. And in a 2-hour show, I'm 40 minutes into it, and I don't feel like it's about that thing.
Is she personally affected by?
Yeah.
So she had an addiction or something?
Yeah. So, but 40 minutes in, I'm still looking at Polaroids.
So it's her autobiography.
Yeah, I'm looking at Polaroids of her as a child, and I don't want to see any more of that. So I switched gears and watched the other one that I think probably will win, so far anyway, called Savalny. I think it's Savalny. It's a guy who's running against Putin or is in opposition to Putin, and the guy he got poisoned and all that stuff. And so far it's really good. I haven't finished it yet. I got about an hour into that.
I'm a big. You and me both like documentaries.
Right,
what drives my wife crazy because I will watch anything about anything.
Right.
So you want to tell me the documentary of how Wendy's came up with their fry recipe?
Sure.
I am in for 45 minutes of that.
So the big fives I'd like to pick a who I think should win and who I think will win.
I think that's a good idea.
Because that's what always, because I had. So best actress from the bottom up. Best actress in a supporting role, I think Angela Bassett hits them both. She should win. I think she probably will win. She's won enough of the...
What has she been nominated for?
Black Panther.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh. And she's won all these leading up to awards, the SAG and Golden Globes and all
Who's
that.
she going up against?
You got Carrie Condon from Banshees of Inisherin, which Carrie Condon is great, and she was great in that. Jamie Lee Curtis in Everything All at Once, she was great in that too. And then a couple, an Asian actress who's I can't pronounce her name, and two of them actually. The Girl in the Whale, she was great.
I'm going to go with Angela Bassett. Yeah, I think. Fortunately, I think there's also some politics involved.
Well, yeah,
I believe we saw that at was it the SAG Awards or was it the Golden Globes where the host came out and did like a
Golden Globes,
very long thing.
Yeah.
So I think some of this will absolutely be affected by representation.
Best
And I'm not
actor in a
saying it's
supporting
bad
role?
thing, just it's going to have an effect.
I think Barry Keoghan, who was in Banshees of Inisherin, I think he probably should win.
You're funny sarcastic.
And I think Brendan Gleeson, who's the guy you're quoting now, I think he probably will win. Barry Keoghan is a different actor. He was in Barry Keoghan was in Eternals. He's that Joker at the end of Pattinson's Batman. He's great in that. He should win. I think Brendan Gleeson will win just because he's got such a huge body of work. Hasn't really been recognized by the Academy.
Lake Placid, all winner, all day long.
Sure.
All winner, no filler.
Right. But he's up against Judd Hirsch in the Fablemans, and the Ki Kwan, who was short round. He's won all the. A
lot of love for short round, and again,
he's winning those awards leading up to it.
So I think Ki Kwan wins. I want both him and Lake Placid to win.
Well, that's hard to say.
That's what I want. Either way, I'm going to win. I think Ki Kwan wins probably on that one. Just such a love story, a child actor coming into his own. And you got to remember, this is the other thing with, I think people, and I say this every time we have this episode, people I think that the Oscars are some scientific kind of a thing, and that it's this well thought out, no, it is all emotion. It is the people who are in the Academy.
They get a ballot just like this.
Yes.
And they sit
get
there
screeners.
So, yeah.
And it's whatever their heart tells them to do. There isn't
No.
You have to, as I said forever, Rosie O'Donnell gets to fill one of these out.
Right.
So, and I'm not saying she's not.
It's very much a deal where I can say, well,
my friend is this person,
or even what's the Fablemans? Fablemans is up for Best Picture. Honestly, it probably isn't Best Picture. But you know what? I'll give it to Spielberg in the director's slot rather than this. I'll trade this for this.
Yes.
This one's won too much.
You're thinking about it in your head. What's fair?
Yes.
Instead of what the answer should be.
You're stop-lossing certain things because they can't sweep everything. They can't do it all. So these last three though, I feel like the would or the should and the will are the same thing.
Best actress.
Best actress in a leading role. You got Cate Blanchett in Tar, which I haven't seen. I'm sorry. Anna de Armas in Blonde, which I did see, which was terrible. I didn't see Leslie, so I don't know what that. Michelle Williams in The Fablemans, and Michelle Yeoh in Everything Everywhere at Once.
I think Michelle Yeoh takes it.
I agree. Best actor in a leading role: Austin Butler in Elvis, Colin Farrell in Banshees of Inisherin, Brendan Fraser in The Whale, Paul Mescal in Aftersun, which I don't know what that is, and Bill Nighy in Living.
I'm gonna go with Brendan Fraser because again, everybody loves that comeback story.
And he was amazing.
Is he? I haven't seen The Whale.
Oh, buddy, he's amazing.
I almost think DC Warner Brothers screwed up by benching that horrible. That Batgirl movie, just because he was the main bad guy.
Yeah.
And he's so hot right now that even if the movie was crap, I think they still would have got eyeballs on it just because of Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
Then again, maybe that resinks his career. Who knows? But yeah, I think
it was really good. He was amazing.
I think that takes it. And Best Picture is up to 10 pictures, right?
It's 5 to 10. It's up to them.
And what did they decide
Sometimes,
this year?
here's
How many?
It was 10.
10.
All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar, Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Fablemans, Tar, Top Gun Maverick, Triangle of Sadness, which I've never even heard of until reading this, and Women Talking, which I've also never heard of.
The hell does Top Gun, Maverick, and Avatar get on that list?
They
made a ton of money. People loved it. I get it. But let's just break it down. This is the Academy Awards. This isn't the People's Choice Awards. This isn't the I have a nostalgic fix for Star Wars Top Gun movie.
Yeah.
This is the Academy Awards. It should be the best of the best. And if you really thought Maverick was the best of last year, then
It might be the 10th best movie.
maybe the 10th best movie.
I don't know. That one also, just from previous wins and all the hype, I really probably feel like everything Everywhere All at Once is probably going to win that.
Sure. But that also gives you Everything All at Once is Best Picture, Best Supporting Actor, and Best Actress.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that Jamie Lee Curtis wins Best Supporting
I don't think so.
against Angela Bassett.
I don't think so.
The only way that happens is if the people voting love the idea of it being a sweep. And that's happened. People that they get behind that. They're like, I want this movie to win a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But we've also seen other years where it's completely split, like all over the place. So I don't think it's going to happen this year. I think Everything All at Once is going to be the big winner. But I'll tell you what, man, we should all riot if Maverick or Avatar win.
I guess insiders feel like Top Gun Maverick really helped save theaters. Maybe not Hollywood, maybe not the industry, but theaters kept people coming to theaters. Was Top Gun Maverick?
And I don't disagree with that. Then the theaters can give him an award,
Sure.
but not the Academy Award.
All Quiet on the Western Front was fine. I feel like we've seen it before. Avatar I did not see. Don't really care to. Banshees of Inisherin was really.
I didn't see it, but I want to see it.
It's incredibly powerful performances. Okay. But man, there were just aspects of it that were so weird.
Yeah.
And like, oh, that's what?
This has nothing to do with the Bruges thing.
No.
Okay, because they're both the main players are the same main players, right?
I guess I don't need to see that one.
Oh, you should see that. I enjoyed that quite a bit.
I would still like to see Tar though, and I'll see Fablemans at some point, but I'm not in a hurry.
Not either. In fact, I'm not usually with you on this stuff, but this year, cool.
But I haven't gone into the rest of them yet. As far as what I'll try to pick them out so I can give my number come Monday.
Woohoo!
How I do, how I don't do.
All right.
That also cheats a little bit when I say should and will. That gives me 2 shots
Well,
to claim victory.
You know.
As I said, they will win, or as I said, they should have won. Okay, I can do that. And then this.
Yeah.
All right. As long as there's no internal memos saying, later on when we have the lawsuits and
The lawsuits are coming?
yeah, when the lawsuits will say that, I never really believe that. That sucks anyway. I can't believe that one. And I don't know.
Comic book to check out this week. You didn't get a chance to read it. I sold out of it. It's from Blue Dark Horse. It's Scott Snyder, Francis Manapula. It's called Clear. Clear, C-L-E-A-R.
Okay.
It is a futuristic murder mystery, but the background idea is that you've had, a third world war or a big global spanning event that's caused there to be, the world is just in decay. It's not post-apocalyptic,
right,
but it's gray, it's dreary, the world's falling apart. And the company has figured out a way, and several companies now have jumped on the bandwagon, to put filters hardwired into your brain to cause exactly what we see on social media now. You take the old selfie of yourself and you're an elf or you're a teenager or whatever stupid thing you're doing. But this allows you to see the entire world as that filter. So if you put in a Roaring 20s filter, the world's still there.
Right.
But instead of that being like a digital camera or mics, that's going to be
an
old-timey thing. Cars are going to look like that. Everything will still work the way it works.
Sure.
If you want a horrendous post-apocalyptic zombie hellscape,
well,
you can filter that into your brain.
But nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed, but the people you're seeing on the street now are going to look like zombies.
Will I be taken to court or arrested if I shoot Zombie Mike? If I shoot Zombie Mike, he's zombie.
Nope, you chose to put the filter in and did not deal with the real world. You chose to put that in your head. So you chose to do that. So but the idea is the murder mystery and there's detectives. But I loved that theme. That theme was just so.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's one of those things where you're like, man, that's good. But on top of it, it's a $4.99 book, which is not unusual at all. That's pretty much a standard for comics anymore, price-wise. But it felt like I got plenty of story. I read about 10 books that were new books this week. And most of those read pretty quick. And there was a couple of number ones, and they just read really fast. This one felt almost like I got 2 issues for the price of 1. There was detail, there was good story, some character development, and then the mystery at the end. And so, big thumbs up. Check it out if you've got a local comic store near you or stop in at Comics Cubed. It's called Clear, and I think if you like a murder mystery kind of a thing with a sci-fi bent, this is the one to check out. Highly recommend it. Cool. Speaking of comics, you've got some news about the upcoming Daredevil Reborn.
Yeah, so John Bernthal, who played played Punisher in the Daredevil series on Netflix, and 2 seasons of his own show, and I didn't realize it got 2 seasons, but I guess it did, has been confirmed because they started shooting Daredevil Born Again, which is the new Disney Plus. He's in it as Punisher, and there's been, I'm gonna say, 4 characters that they brought over. I apologize for the gum. I can't get it out of my mouth.
Like, what's with this gum, dude? You're a professional.
I know. I'm trying to put it somewhere where it's out of the way, and now it's like really stuck in there.
Wow.
Here, let me just put this right here. There we go. So you've had 4 or 5 characters that have made this jump over from Netflix to the Disney Plus, and he's going to be one of them. So what the question that will be moving forward is, we've got this big Born Again storyline, which I'm told, like people tell me things, like I read that it's going to be very episodic and have that overall storyline. But
is this the Frank Miller storyline? Are they doing the Reborn?
It's called
storyline?
Born Again, so I assume it is. But we've seen his mom before in the other show, and we've got Karen Page and Foggy. Those 2 actors are not going to be in this new series, as far as we know.
They're out, or they just haven't signed yet? What's the language?
They started
that
filming
you've
last
read?
week, so I got to think they would be in if they would be.
It's really too bad.
That's the only reason that we know that Bernthal's in. Because
I really like the guy who plays Foggy.
Yeah, he's good.
I enjoy him quite a bit.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if those characters are out or if just the actors are out.
I don't know how you take Foggy Nelson out of a Daredevil long range, because this isn't a couple of episodes. This isn't the 6. No. This is not even the 10. I want to say this got
18.
18. That's a big season for any streaming show
it's
anymore.
Definitely the biggest order that Disney Plus has done.
To throw that out there, and right now the thing that I am reading, I watch a lot of Disney YouTube influencers and stuff like that are following stuff. And with the return of Bob Iger, they are cutting left and right. Everything's getting cut.
They are slowing down a lot. I'll say it that way, or I would correct you that way, in that they are not ready to put out 4 movies a year and a series in between each movie.
Sure, well, that's that. But I mean, we're talking park-wise. We're talking everything related to the company.
Gotcha.
Disney is not just, I mean, we see that most people think, oh, it's the movies and TV shows. Those parks make just as much, if not more money than most of the other assets that they did. Yeah. The whole point of Disney Plus was to have a subscription base, to have money coming in every single month from something that, they've figured out is going to be very lucrative. So that will get slowed down. But we are seeing Disney, from their expensive Star Wars cruiser experience, slowing that down. There's talk of unionizing. There's all kinds of craziness going on right now. Disney is, the ground is unstable currently. They are, I think, facing some problems and issues that I never thought that such a giant company would have cracks that could ever be a problem. But man, it's starting to bubble up. So it'll be interesting to see how this affects these things. But as you said, they've even mentioned they're slowing it down. So we'll see. Because, man, I got to admit, Star Wars, wise just on a personal level, you burnt me. You managed to take that, and you've put out so much content that I've not watched a single episode of Andor, and I don't care to. Like, I am just, if I see it, I see it. Mandalorian, I at least want to see.
Yeah.
But even that, I haven't, rushed out to see.
I would say it's a catch-22 at that point, because it's been a ton of material for Marvel and for Star Wars, but you're launching an app, you're launching a new service.
Sure.
So in order to get people thinking, I'm going to turn this off, like I did with Paramount Plus before, or even CBS when they had their app. I got it to do Star Trek Discovery, and then I turned it off for 9 months until I waited for another Star Trek Discovery. And so you really got to throw everything at the wall in that first year or two of the app's presence to get people to subscribe and forget they subscribed like everybody else does. So now I can definitely see them slowing down. They're and doing more quality stuff. Plus all the stuff that's coming out that we're hearing about all the special effects work being so rushed and so not subpar, but not as good as it should be. Because
She-Hulk suffered some of that, I think.
Yeah, because they say, I know you're working on this, but I need this in a week. and so that means something's got to suffer when you push something to the side. So it's I don't know. They're doing fine. You know, it's not doom and gloom.
Instead of 50 billion, they make 48 billion.
Yeah.
But that's still anytime this isn't happening on your stock index and this is happening, that's a problem. Yeah. So we'll see how it shakes out. Bob Iger's in for at least 2 years, I want to say his contract was, and then the idea was he would shepherd in someone new. But I mean, again, this guy he's the spearhead of so much stuff that it's pretty impressive. Hey, so. Huge comic guy. I have been forever. Followed Mike Mignola's Hellboy since day one. Absolutely. I love everything about BPRD, Hellboy. Anything Mignola comes out with that has related to that excites me. I actually really enjoyed the last film with Harbor.
I didn't see it.
You know what? If you like Hellboy, I don't see why you're not going to like it. If you love Ron Perlman, yes, you're going to be upset that Ron's not Hellboy. But the truth is, and I wanted Ron to do a third movie. He's, 70-some years old.
He's old.
I mean, he's still got it.
Yeah.
I'd still watch him do it.
He doesn't want to spend 5 hours in the chair every day.
But I'm not going to sit around and wait to be told who can and can't be Hellboy. That said, we have a third actor now stepping into the horns to be Hellboy. Do you have the name of that guy?
Jack Kesy, Kesy.
Where would you know him from? Because I don't know him.
I IMDb'd him, and I did not know anything he's done.
Okay.
He's a working actor, but I'm not familiar with him at all.
I mean, and maybe that's good, because yes, you put David Harbour in there, and everybody knows him from Stranger Things, but then going in with this Harper mentality. This is a demon dude who's got nothing but 5 hours in the chair of makeup, and I'm going to guess now CG as well, being thrown on the character. I don't need to know who you are. I need you to be Hellboy.
Right.
Read the comics, figure it out, take a few pieces from Ron's portrayal, take a little bit from David's portrayal, then make your own and make it work. Now, supposedly Mike Mignola himself is much more heavily involved in this third attempt.
It's off a specific story, right?
Yes, and it's not one of my favorite stories, to be honest. It's I believe it's The Crooked Man.
Might be.
And if it's that, then it's kind of a deep South, United States, deep South kind of hillbilly-esque horror thing, kind of like your Silver John. People might know. Okay, that's really out there. You got to be really nerdy to know that kind of stuff. But that kind of Appalachian horror.
Sure.
I don't know how to. It's hillbilly horror kind of stuff going into. When we think South, we think not the not the Confederacy. But
what was that show that Jonathan Majors was on HBO that you're talking the Cthulhu show?
Oh, Lovecraft Country.
Yeah, that was kind of like that. It was.
I can see, yes, except instead of going to New England, take all that and go for this. I've got that book on my shelf. I'm finally going to get a chance to read it. I'm really excited about that. Yeah. Was that the end of our time, sir?
I don't know. No, that was somebody calling
somebody
me.
else?
Somebody called me.
Speaking of, geez, what else can that guy be in? Jonathan Majors. Holy cow.
Yeah, he's hitting it. He's hitting it for sure.
Creed, I think, I haven't checked out the numbers, but I'm going to guess it's doing pretty well.
Probably.
Ant-Man's in the theater at the same time.
Yeah.
Lovecraft Country didn't get picked up.
Right.
But now I'm starting to think, well, maybe the reason is honestly the main star of it he doesn't have time to make a TV show.
He's in another movie about like World War II aviators.
That one's already been out.
Is it out?
And that had the guy from Top Gun, the cocky guy from Top Gun Maverick.
He's going to be in. You look for him to be in a Marvel thing at some point. He looks like a superhero.
You heard the rumors about Nomad from Marvel?
No.
Supposedly, and this is lots of bags of salt, but Evans supposedly would come back to do a character called Nomad. We'll see. That's one of those YouTube things where they made it look real nice.
Yeah.
But I'm like, man, Chris Evans coming back to anything with Captain America right now seems a little odd. But they came out and said it wouldn't be called Cap.
Right.
But Nomad was a character he did when he wasn't Cap.
Right.
And I got as much as they want to slow things down, I haven't seen Ant-Man yet. I've heard good and bad about it.
It's fine. It's
watchable. I've heard it's indifferent to some people. I've heard other people love it. But the truth is, I think the vast majority of people, now that we've seen this last 4 or 5 movies, whatever phase or whatever they're calling it, I don't think it's risen to the level that we've seen. I think really, if we're being honest, either one, we've got Marvel fatigue, or it's in the doldrums. It's one or the other.
I don't think it's Marvel fatigue as much as we spent nearly 20 years crafting what is the best, in my opinion, the best, at least, Marvel story there is, and we hit it, and they nailed it. Where do you go from there? I don't think there's going up from there. Secret Wars will be great, depending on what they do. the idea of Secret Wars is great, but
They've
Infinity War was it, man. That was Infinity Gauntlet was it. And I don't know what they're going to do to ever get to that level again, and I don't think they will.
I think some of the problem though is that they bled all the characters, all the actors. They're gone.
Yeah.
Chris is out. Downey Jr.'s out. Now we're hearing that what's his face, Hulk is probably out.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd heard forever that Hemsworth's like, I'll be Thor till the end of the days. I'll be, as long as there's a Thor script, I'm in. Now I'm hearing he's like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, people change. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
I don't need to do this anymore.
I've seen enough of those Avengers. I like them. I love them. I've seen enough of them. A little cameo once in a while would be fine, but I don't want to see any more.
So taking into account the actual Avengers comics that have been out forever, you've always had to have a tentpole character in the team.
Right.
The teams have been vastly different,
Right.
but you've always had to have at least a Cap, or if you take Cap out, an Iron Man,
Right.
or you got to have one of the biggies in there. And right now, none of the biggies are available. They're all off the table. And so I think you got to get one of them back to do something. And unfortunately, it can't be Cap, or you're just gonna throw feces at the wall all over the Sam storyline. I think people want to see that story.
Sam needs to be Cap for a while.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. What do we got? What's our next Marvel film? Honestly, at this point, I'm out.
Guardians,
I don't know.
I think.
Is it? Well, that'll be the finale for that with Gunn then going over to DC.
Yeah.
I don't know. We've seen a lot of DC movement yet. I think he's still pretty quiet about
He hasn't made any
what's
big
going on
huge
over that.
announcements.
I think they're still working on scripts.
Yeah.
So he's got the end of the plate that he didn't have anything to do with making, putting out, or dealing with, but he is now going to have his name attached to it.
Right.
Even though he didn't have anything to do with Shazam or Aquaman,
Right.
his name's now going to be in the mix. He's going to have to answer questions about this stuff. And then the Flash.
That's the thing, answering the questions, which he does a great job on Twitter of coming out sometimes saying, no, this is bull crap, whatever you just heard. Somebody will say, hey, James Gunn, is this true? And he'll, no, it's not. It's complete bull crap. But you're right. He's already going to have to do junkets for Guardians 3. And I'm sure he doesn't want to spend any of that Guardians time talking about any announcement he might make ahead of that, DC wise. That's a disservice to Marvel.
My guess is that all those things are supervised by agents. You've even had enough YouTube technology and stuff. We've seen behind the scenes of, you and me have just made the biggest movie of our lives, and we're going to sit here in a hotel room for the next 6 hours, and you've got 10 minutes.
Right.
And we're going to see 50 different reporters. 50 different reporters are going to come in and ask us the same question over and over. But there's handlers on left and right saying, you're not going to ask this question. Right. So I'm sure with him, it's just going to be stated up front. You don't get to ask DC questions at the Marvel thing. Marvel paid for this.
Yeah.
You don't get to ask a DC question. We're sorry. Yeah, he can do that on his own time, but I didn't pay you to make a movie to support the other company. And this isn't even comics. This is bigger stakes. This is movies.
Yeah.
So
I think those questions still get asked though.
Well, and we'll see if he answers them, because I would imagine if
I would hope he doesn't. He'll say, "Well, you just have to wait and see."
Yeah,
that'd be my answer.
Be really cool. I'm just him like, hey, I'm on this guy's dime right now.
Yeah.
So I brought this girl to this particular prom. I'm not dancing with this other chick yet. So that's where we're at on that. So got the Kokomo Con coming up April 22nd. I need everybody to come and be a part of that. Gavin Smith is going to be one of the guests of honor. He has got a new announcement, which I can't tell you about because I don't know that he's announced it yet, even though I accidentally announced it and had to erase a whole bunch of stuff. Kind of got caught there. One of those things where he's texting me and texts me the big thing, and I'm like, cool. And he goes, so that should be, and then that was a text. The next text was, that should be announced soon. Well, I was reading it live, like on the air, and I'm like, well, end of show, thanks for coming, everybody. And then he immediately had to delete the entire thing we had just done.
Sorry, bro.
So I was like, gotta go. It's gotta be dead now. So, but that's coming up. But he's got work from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Ronin. He just did a giant Star Trek run that's been really well received. He's got all kinds of great stuff coming out. So great guest. So yeah, I want to check that out at the Kokomo Con, April 22nd.
Where can they get information about that?
Well, you can stop by Comics Cubed in the heart of downtown Kokomo. Part of Geek Street, Crown Jewel, really. And stop by Wednesday through Saturday from noon to 5. We'll happily hook you up with that, get you tickets in advance, sell you the comics that you need, and make your life worth living.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Well, I want to thank you for coming to the show. We hope you had a good time. We'll see you next time right here in the Geek Street Studios. Me and Mike. Be groovy, everybody.